It is July 1st. It's a Monday, and I'm sitting at an all-time high. This is the video log that takes 30,000 to a million. I'll show you how I'm doing it. I'm going to take you through some of the action today, some of the new trades that I've placed, and later I'm going to show you what I like to play around with, the calculator. I like to play around with the calculator sometimes, and how to the possibility of converting some of your account or all of it into more of a very passive type of income. So if I decided to convert the entire account into super passive income, how much it would bring me a month and per year. Alright, so let's go into the browser here. Oh, I'm not at the account tab. So this is the home button. I've gained, it says 160 here, but I'm up about $750 for the weekend. It's just the way options play out. If we zoom out into the week, you'll see how I was at 6,500 roughly. I also scored an intraday all-time high at 61,642, but closed the day at 61,164. All right, that's the account. The biggest movers of the day were Apple, of course. Trade tensions are supposedly decreasing between China and the US, and so it is, give me 1 second real quick. Supposedly tensions are decreasing, so people are liking that. Tariffs are on hold from the US and China regarding Apple. They're still kind of trying to decide though if Johnny Ives leaving is a good thing or a bad thing or neutral thing, so market's a bit confused. But here's how the options have been playing out. The gain from the 1 call sold and 2 puts sold is $311 today. I've actually annualized this, and if everything runs by plan, I'll be gaining about $22, something like that, per day if Apple finishes at around $200 by January 17th. So that's kind of my prediction. I'm trying to make money out of a sideways market. I do have a video on how to make money off sideways market, so I'm not going to cover that today. All right, so that's Apple up $400, it says right here, but again, taking into account the options, it's really not that much of a gain. For example, my C-SPAN gains are capped now, so even though it says plus 72 here, I'm not going to get all that money because look, negative 34 from the options. I've sold 2 calls against all of my C-SPAN shares, and I'm going to be selling them at $10, and just trying to collect the sideways action play. So all this extra money, the 17 cents, are really not going to go to me. I'm just going to collect the premium and sell them at $10. Hopefully they stay at or above $10 by, when does this option expire? 8/16. Alright, so, but nevertheless, big mover here. $72. Apple's $437. The biggest losers are the miners. Russian market's up $34. I'm not getting any of those gains either. The biggest losers are the miners, the precious metals miners. Some of the tensions are taken off, so the safe haven play from gold isn't really taking an effect. Mainly though, because the dollar has been strengthening so much today, and it's knocking down the precious metals, so it's not working out very well. Negative $46 here for wheat and precious metals. My other account, I have an account that's really heavy on gold miners, and it's just getting slaughtered today. Energy fuels down $24. Chemical up 6. Uranium business ETF negative 36, and PCY, which is the emerging market bond ETF, is up $46 now. And we're going to talk about that in a second. As far as the option plays go, you can see how they're traveling here, but these numbers are really just trying to get down to zero. So the biggest thing I did today was sold some energy fuels puts. So some of my contracts expired, and so I re-rolled them into the Energy Fuels puts. So now I have 11 contracts in Energy Fuels, $1,500 worth of cash collateral that I'm going to be expending if Energy Fuels ends up below $2.50 at some point. And then I have all of my, pretty much all, I think, 2 call cells, 3 call cells, 500 out of 600 shares are sold or pre-sold already through call options. So if Energy Fuels reaches $5 per share, I'll be selling those shares. All right, so that's about the activity today. And now what I'm going to talk about is how I like to play with the calculator and annualize some of my income. Like I always try to imagine, okay, so if I just put my account on passive, what would my account look like excuse me, just 1 second here. What my account would look like if I were just to collect yearly dividend from it. So I like to take a company like something even safer, like the emerging market bonds, PCY, for example. Yes, its value goes up and down, but even if the value goes down, the yield will increase by a little bit anyways. So it's a good kind of measure to see. Excuse me, allergies. It's a good measure to see if would make a good monthly dividend type of play. So let's go into it and take a look at PCY. So what I like to do is I like to take their dividend payment, right? So and calculate how much it would be per thousand. So it's 21 let's say $21 per month out of $5,274. So let's just say $20 per every 5,000. So if we divide 20 by 5, it would get roughly $4 roughly $4 per $1,000. I've already been doing some calculations over here. So if we take, let me see if you can see it. Yes, you can. So if we take $4 per 1,000 and multiply it times the amount of the account, so that's about 60,000 right now. That means I'll be getting $240 per month. All right, $240 per month from the emerging market funds. And to annualize it, that means I'll be getting almost $3,000 before taxes of income per year, right? So that's not gonna get you very far unless you live in Nepal or some cheap place to live out there. But in the U.S., it's gonna be just a very tiny supplementary income. And but it's just interesting to see, like, if I would invest all the money into one specific thing, what would it yield me per year or per month? So let's take a look at some something else, right? So how about a very popular yield company, which is it's the monthly yielding company out there. It's real estate based. So let's take a look at their dividend. So every month they pay out 0.226 per share. All right, 0.226 per share. So the way I would find how much that is I would divide $1,000 by the stock share price. Currently, it's 14.7 something, and I multiply that by 0.226. I think it was. No. What was it? Yeah, 0.226. Boom. This is what it's gonna give me per month. I multiply it times 60. We have $200 per month, or times 12, almost $2,400 per year if I invest everything in this particular fund. Well, what about a interesting company a popular company that's still got some growth potential, like Apple, for example? So they're paid quarterly, though they don't pay monthly, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of a different calculation here. So we have $78 here dividend I received. So that means 0.77 per share. Alright, share is $200 at the moment. 0.77. So 0.77 times, we can fit 5 shares in 1,000. So we're going to multiply this by 5. And this is how much we get per quarter. Alright, per 1,000. So if we multiply this by 4, this is what we get in a year per 1,000. So multiply that by 60, which is the amount of thousands I have in the account. We have just $924. So if I put everything into Apple, I'd be getting just $1,000 per year in dividends. So it's considerably less, even though it has more growth potential, arguably, than a Realty Income Fund or Emerging Market Fund. So these are some of the calculations that I like to play with and see what would happen if I were to convert all of the account into a specific type of passive income vehicle. So obviously I think that being active and selling options, I think I have like a record amount of options being sold right now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different option contracts, and some of them are multiples, like 5 times this, 2 times this, 2 times this, 3 times the UU call. So obviously I think selling options is going to generate me more income over the year, and then just buying a single equity or fund and collecting dividends. So I'm trying to employ that, and so far I'm doing okay. If you're interested, this is my weekly, monthly performance. You can pause it at any point throughout the video to figure it out. 3 months, yearly. Alright, there's no point in looking at all because I started taking this account more seriously on August 18th is actually when I'll be doing a year on this channel. So it's coming up. So August 18th. And I was just up $386. The account was a lot smaller, but if you want to see the account just for kicks and giggles, this is the old time. So basically nothing happened, right? Because I didn't put that much money into the account. It was like a few $1,000 account at that time. So there wasn't much change. If it changes 10% of 1,000, that's only $100 worth of change, right? So not much change back here. That's why it looks so dramatic, because now I'm playing with a lot more money. So, but this is the yearly performance here. You can see almost 30% up, which is great. I'm really happy about that, beating the market. But one thing I'm not doing today is beating the market. I'm only up 0.226% when the market is up a lot more than that, at 0.91. Alright, so this is what I like to do sometimes, just to figure out how I'm doing, what kind of income I can get from what capital, holding what equity or fund. So I don't know if you like to play around with those kinds of calculations, but I do. And sometimes when I'm bored, at work on a break or something like that, I would start calculating stuff just for fun, just to see how much each thing is yielding me, just to get an idea, to gain some perspective of what I'm trying to achieve, what my goal is, what I'm getting. And if you're interested, this account is getting about $150 to $200 worth of dividends each month. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm about $919 for the year worth of dividends, mainly because it's a little higher than what I just stated, because I was invested in RSX in the beginning of the year, and it gives a really big yearly dividend. So I collected like $150 or something like that just from holding RSX, which is the Russian Russian market ETF, exchange traded fund. Alright, so that's about it. That's all I wanted to share. I wanted to tell you about the new all-time high, which is great. I don't foresee it staying and keep on going too much higher in the very near future. Maybe a little bit of a pullback, but we'll see. It doesn't really matter. I'm playing it out. So I'm also thinking about new trade ideas as well. Alright, well, that's about it for today. Hope all y'all are making millions as well. And that's it. Peace out.